This is how we do it.
This is how we do it.
Hey, what's up, guys? I want to welcome you to This Is How We Do It Quick Tips. Okay, we're going to keep this under a few minutes here, so let's just dive in here. Here's what we're going to be building. We've got an Xpresso rig set up to a slider, and then when you hit play, we're going to see this thing start to move. It changes speed depending on the value changes. So that's basically it. Let's go ahead and dive in. First, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new scene here. And we're going to be adding a null to our scene, which is going to be holding our Xpresso. And add the Xpresso null tag. And I've dragged the tag down in here and grouped it into my materials window here, so it's nice down here at the bottom and tidy. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make a podium, and this is what's going to rotate. So let's make the width 7, height of 1, and let's change the display so we can see the lines here. And I'm also going to hide the grid because we don't need it. Okay, so this is going to be our podium here. And we're going to need this thing to spin on this axis right here. So to do that, we're going to need to control it. So we're going to drag it down here into the first X group here. And let's go ahead and enable the coordinates rotation H. Okay, so the first node that is going to be this controller is going to be the time node, and you can find that in Xpresso general time. Now time is represented over this these 90 frames here. So if we go ahead and we find the result node and we plug that in, we'll see right now it's set to 0. If we change the calculate to animation refresh, make sure that's checked on, and we hit play, we're going to see that this number is changing, and that's what we want. So what we need to do is we need to make this thing spin whenever the playhead hits play. So to do that, we're going to need to take time and multiply it by another number. So that other number is going to be a constant. It's just a constant is just a numbered node. So let's add 6 into the value, and we will do a math null. So we'll click on math and multiply that. So we're going to change add to multiply, and we're going to take our constant and drag that in. And now if we show the output in a result again, we're going to see that our number is larger because we've multiplied it by this number. So if we click in here and we pick 50, you're going to see that number really goes up quick. So let's leave it to 3 here and multiply it by this rotation H. And here we go. So if we just come in here and we change it to 2, you notice it moves slower, and obviously 1 is slower again. So we could leave it at that. In the demo, I connected the constant output to the Xpresso null, and why don't we go ahead and do that? So if we right click here, say user interface, copy user data, we can then paste it into our null. So let's change this to speed. Okay, and let's change the min and max values to -10 and 10. Also, I like to make the step size a little bit more sensitive. So if we just do 0.01, that's going to make the float slider a little bit more sensitive. So we can see we get decimals here. So let's just go ahead and change this to 1. And next, we will delete this constant, and we will add in by dragging in the null and finding the user data speed inside our null setup and dragging that into the input of the math node. So now, if we hit play, we should see this thing start spinning and spinning and spinning faster. So I hope you guys found this useful. The main thing that I want you guys to understand is that this can all be changed. You can use this time node with a math node and multiply it to change any parameter inside any object. So we could change the position on the X. Let's plug that in there. And we'll see that that math node is now changing the position. If we crank this up, we'll see it's moving. Another math node, and add or multiply to it. Let's do another constant here. And this we will say 100. And we will connect these two together. And let's multiply. And now we're going to get a greater position increase. So there we go. So I hope you guys find the usefulness of of this tutorial. Please leave a comment and check out my site, ericlist.com, for more tutorials and free stuff. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks.